Welcome, Dude Nation, to the Dude, Who Are You and What Do You Do podcast. I'm Ed Rossich, your CEO and part-time host. Today, we've got a very special guest from an area of the company that most people don't know a lot about, Mandy St John, who's a product owner for us. Hi, Mandy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. How's your week been?
It's been crazy, but it's been going great.
Got it. So I'm guessing there's a lot of people that don't even know what a product owner is. Can you give people a little bit of, what is that?
So a product owner is actually just kind of what the name says. I own a product. My product specifically is Dude Intelligence.
Dude Intelligence.
And I am, as we like to say in the Agile world, the single ringable neck. So I take in all the information, make decisions, disseminate that information, and then go to my developers and say, can we do this? And they tell me yes or no, and then we negotiate on the yes or the no, and hopefully implement it and make people happy.
That sounds so like gallows, ring of the neck. How about pat on the back?
Well, yeah, if it goes great, it's a pat on the back, but it doesn't always go great.
Got it.
And then I've got other people coming to me, like the client success team, who's saying you're not being very successful.
Uh-oh. Wow. All this negativity from the start. So, how'd you get here? How long you been a Dude?
I have been at Dude since November of 2016, and I actually originally started in banking as a teller.
I saw that. You were a teller at BB&T?
I was a teller. A PS, by the way, I was a terrible teller. I was
like just
horrible.
giving extra money out, that type of thing? Or
I might have lost $500 one time.
Awesome.
It was a box of quarters. That happens.
A box of quarters. So how'd you go from teller to all-knowing and awesome product owner?
Thanks for making it more positive.
Yeah, I'm trying. You dug us a big hole.
I actually was only a teller for 6 months because I was so terrible, and then decided I probably needed to find a new place at BB&T, and ended up in sales support in a commercial department. And they had their documents everywhere, and so I decided to just take the initiative and put all their documents on the intranet. And whenever I was doing that, I was like, this is pretty cool. I could do this technology stuff, and decided to go back to school and get my MBA.
I saw that, NC State MBA.
That's right, in product innovation and marketing. And from there, I went to the digital channel at BB&T and worked on everything: online banking, online account opening. And then my last tour of duty was the website, making it responsive and accessible.
Got it. Where'd you grow up?
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Fayetteville, got it. Is that the Appalachian State connection as well?
No. Fayetteville is actually about an hour and 15 minutes away from here. It's a military town. So it's a scrappy little place. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go to App because my parents took me there on a bait and switch kind of day. It was gorgeous, beautiful. Mountains were amazing. I fell in love, and then that first winter I was there, the snowdrifts were as tall as me, and I was like, this is a mistake.
Yeah, snow sucks.
Yeah, it does. But it was great. I had a good experience there.
So you get out of the MBA school and you go right into product ownership at BB&T, or is there a midway point there? They started you off doing something else?
I started as an analyst within the digital channel, and then became a product manager. But at the time, it was not Agile. It was Waterfall. So it was very different. I wrote 80-page requirements documents, and that never really got implemented the way I wrote it. So Agile is a much better methodology.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. So how did you get connected up with Dude Solutions? You were at BB&T, still around last time I checked. How did you get here?
Yes. Well, at that point in my career, I had done all of the products in the digital channel. And I needed a new challenge, and I needed a change of culture. And I had always heard great things about Dude, and it was a completely different domain that would challenge me to learn. And we have so many verticals, and they have so many different needs. Every day I'm learning something brand new, and so that's how I got here.
Awesome.
The culture and the change.
Culture and the change. And, not disparaging BB&T or banking, but I cannot imagine such a different shift in sort of probably banking culture to pure software company culture. What were a couple of things that you noticed going to the Dude from a banking environment?
Well, first of all, I can actually get things done very quickly. Here, I don't have to go to legal and risk and compliance and ask for permission or make sure that everybody in the entire world knows what we're doing. And by that, I mean deposits, marketing, anybody, everybody. At Dude, we have the ability to make changes that impact our clients very quickly. So, I might get something from the product operations group on a Tuesday, and I can fix it and get it into a release on Thursday.
That's awesome.
And that makes a big difference for my work life because I know that I'm helping make change for our clients.
You can actually see the impact.
Yes, very much so. And I enjoy that so much about Dude. It's very nice to have the ability to impact quickly.
That's awesome. Other cultural things that you noticed? Or?
Yes. There's a lot of can-do spirit, a lot of fun, a lot of, Kevin gives me a lot of autonomy. He's like, if that's what you think we need to do, I trust you, go do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Very cool. So I often like to ask guests to put people in your shoes for a day, a week, whatever a good common period is. Like, what's a day in life like for you here? Like, what do you do?
Well, it depends on the day, but I thought about this a lot last night trying to figure out how to answer this question. Basically, I take in a lot of information. I talk to stakeholders. Sometimes I talk to clients, whether via email or I go see them, and try to figure out how to make the product work best for them from a user experience, from giving them the information that they need, especially with Dude Intelligence. And then I work with Team Squishy. Shout out to Pat, Mel, and Jerry, and Steve Roth. We work really closely together to make sure that the visualizations that they create and click are represented and are functional in Dude Intelligence. And so there's a lot of back and forth with people, a lot of talking to people, a lot of working with my development team, making sure that they have everything that they need. And if they come into any kind of roadblock, I have to remove that for them or figure out how to remove it. So a lot of times it's just being a jack of all trades every day, but really never being a master of anything.
Sounds like my job. So when you look at your, say, to-do list for the day or the week, like what's the most favorite thing for you as a product owner? Like, oh, cool, I get to do this today. What is that for you?
So my best kept secret is that I really enjoy bragging about Swingline, my squad. They are an amazing group of developers, and we are always accomplishing things, and they are super creative in finding solutions to problems that clients have had. So I think I really enjoy bragging about them at the sprint reviews, but also being able to talk to clients and getting their feedback. I've really enjoyed that part of the job. That was missing in banking too. We never really talked to clients about what they needed. And so being able to do that and have the freedom to do that at Dude and have our clients be so impactful by giving us that feedback, and that's been a really great change for me too.
That's awesome. On the flip side of that, you're looking at your to-do list and there's an item on there that is part of your job, but man, that sucks doing that. What is that for you?
Having to say no or not right now. That is
hard.
I never want to say no, and I never want to say not right now. And that, I think, is also a difficult thing for people to understand. I think sometimes people think that product owners or managers are just enjoy saying no. We hate it. We actually hate it. We want to be able to do all of the things that are suggested to us, but we have to think about time and effort and expense, and is that going to make an impact to the majority of our clients, or is that just a one-off that helps one or two? And that's really the balancing act that is very difficult. So that would be the part that sucks.
Got it. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. When you think about just the Dude in general, what you've enjoyed about working here the last couple of years, what's that been, independent of your job?
I've really loved the people.
What about them?
I mentioned how great my squad is, and they're amazing. I sit with them every day, so we're really close, and they've been some of my really good friends And we know a lot about each other, maybe a little too much sometimes. So a shared workspace and everything. But I've really enjoyed just being here at the Dude. Everybody has a can-do attitude, a want-to-do attitude that has really made a difference for me.
Got it. So you're celebrating something this weekend that's pretty special. What's that?
Yes, it's my daughter's 6th birthday.
Very cool.
All princesses all the time.
Awesome. And you're taking them to where for the big birthday bash?
It's not going to be at my house, thankfully, but we are doing it at her dance school, and Belle will be visiting us. So I don't want to brag, but I am getting #1 mom spot on Saturday.
Awesome. Well, you're raising the bar for the rest of them. So that's awesome. Any cool hobbies or interests that Dude Nation should hear about? Or maybe they shouldn't hear about it. We'll just keep it a secret.
We should keep it a secret. Yeah, it's fine.
Right,
yeah.
Won't tell anybody.
Nobody needs to know that. I enjoy reading, though I have 2 kids, so I never actually get to do that. So don't ask me what I'm reading right now. Favorite pastime, that's basically what that was. And as I was mentioning before with you, I have started running more, and so that's probably becoming my hobby now. It helps a lot.
Awesome. No, I might run a few miles here and there myself. So
I hear that you're pretty good at it, but just maybe a million miles or so behind you.
Yeah, not that many. But yeah. Cool. Well, we typically, do a little bit of talk and then turn the tables and let you throw some questions out at me. And I see quite a few written out here in perfect penmanship. Let's get that out.
That's right. I do have amazing penmanship. So the first one, I hope, is hard for you.
Oh, man.
What is your biggest regret professionally?
Wow. I don't think I've ever had anybody ask me that question. My biggest regret professionally would have to be that early on in my executive career, I didn't quite understand the power of harnessing and engaging people like I do today. And I wish I'd learned that. Like, if I had one regret as far as how I play my game today, I wish I would have figured that out much sooner, because I think I would have been much more productive and helpful for people that are building careers and building companies. Yeah,
that has been a really great highlight that you've brought here, is talking about the people that work at Dude and how you can make things awesome for us. So I really appreciate that, because in my previous life, the business will remain unnamed, but it was not a highlight. So I appreciate that.
Well, I think I've said it before in this podcast, or certainly in some meetings, like software is one of the most people-intense businesses on the face of the planet. Ideas are generated by people, alchemized to keyboards by people, sold, implemented, supported. This building can be condemned tomorrow. And as long as we've got great people and a Wi-Fi connection at a Starbucks, the show goes on, right?
That's right.
So it's so important. And again, from a regret perspective, I wish I had learned that lesson a little bit earlier in my career.
So I have a softball for you.
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food. I would say I'm on death row. It's my last meal.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. Since you went negative on that one.
You went first. I would have to say just a good old wood-fired pizza and a nice tall beer or 8. That would be like my best food.
So what's your favorite restaurant around this area then?
Favorite restaurant around this area? Well, they don't serve pizza there, but Ray's is pretty good. They got some good food there. There's a little tavern down about a quarter mile from my house that I stumble to every once in a while, called Abbey Road. We just get burgers and beers.
I like there. Abbey Road.
And so, but those are 2 that we hang out at. So
cool. I have one more question.
Yeah.
It's a little more difficult.
Uh-oh. I see how you start me off and then you go easy and now we're going hard again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I found that this also works with development. You have to have the pebbles mixed in.
Awesome.
So you have said that we've all had different #1 priorities within the Dude. So what is Dude's #1 priority that I, as a product owner, can remember in my day-to-day activities and the decisions that I make and how I basically plan due intelligence in the work that my squad is doing.
Wow. So let me back up, and then I'll answer your question directly. So I believe the company has 3 priorities right now. A focus on people, a focus on product, and a focus on possibilities. And you guys have heard me talk about employee engagement and the possibilities. We've got a huge amount of growth, so I won't cover that. When it comes to product, though, I think we have to do a couple of things, and you mentioned one of them. One is focusing on building stuff that delivers value. I think well-intentioned, but I think in some cases we've lost that sort of view as far as let's build shit that people want, right, and are going to use. Secondly, developing a discipline for how you gather and synthesize information so that it turns out in a roadmap that really sort of contributes to that first point, which is building stuff that matters, right? So I think that's the key. I think overall, from a company perspective, we got to focus really hard on getting Asset Essentials to parity to plus in a short order and all the other product pivots we have.
Great.
Cool. Well, it's been a lot of fun sitting down with you this afternoon.
I've had a great time. Thank you.
Awesome. Enjoy your, you guys are going to have a piñata at this party as well or anything? Isn't that like what they do now? Or?
You know what? I'm providing the cupcakes and I've got the princess. They can all figure it out from there.
That's cool. I hope you guys have a good time with
Thank
this
you.
weekend. Thanks for sitting with me today.
Thank you.